Good evening, friends. It's a matter of great pleasure for me to speak to you on what I believe is a momentous occasion for our two institutions, and I believe for the Indian financial sector. And as we take this opportunity to share our thoughts with you, I just want to mention to you that we are truly excited about our lives together. And I want to make, in particular, talk about, before I start, about my colleagues from ING Vysya. And it is interesting that if I start from the extreme left, Von Richter, who was the CEO of ING Vysya Bank for many years in India, and I had the occasion and privilege of knowing him extremely well during those days. And he actually went down the streets of India to really build the bank. And Von handed over to Shailendra Bhandari, Shailendra, who has been the managing director of ING Vysya for 5 years. And thereafter, of course, Uday Sareen. And we have figured out how the two Udays will be known in the future. He is US and I'm UK. And we really look forward to building a life together as the two institutions decide to combine. And with that, let me take you through the presentation which highlights some of our thoughts behind this merger and our logic of life beyond. This is a merger of ING Vysya Bank with Kotak Mahindra Bank. Significant complementarity and growth potential for benefits of all stakeholders. The structure of the merger is based on the approval of the board of directors today, where the two institutions merge effectively to form, down the road, subject to all approvals, stakeholders and regulatory approvals, into a single institution. And ING Vysya Bank merges into Kotak Mahindra Bank at the end of this process. On the left is the present situation of the two institutions. ING Group and the public own shares in ING Vysya Bank. As you know, ING Group owns about 43% and the balance is public. And then we have Kotak Mahindra Bank, where there is about a 40% stake by the promoter family and the balance is public. Upon merger, the promoter will be Kotak family. We will have a ING Group as a significant shareholder, the second largest shareholder in the bank, and then will be the public. And all the subsidiaries of Kotak will continue to be the subsidiaries of the merged entity. Therefore, all our 17 subsidiaries will continue to be the subsidiaries of the merged entity. And that is one of the objectives of really building this excitement around a marriage of this kind. Since some of you are focused rightly on the business of the commercials of the deal, the share exchange ratio is, for every 1,000 shares of ING Vysya, it is 725 shares of Kotak, and that is the ratio in which the shareholders will get the shares. I am truly excited about, this merger happening in this ratio, which I think is fair to all stakeholders on both sides. And we will make this effective upon obtaining all approvals. And post that, on completion, ING Vysya Bank, with its business and branches, will become Kotak Mahindra Bank. All shareholders Thereafter, will get shares of Kotak Mahindra Bank, and they will participate in the merged Kotak business going forward. The strategic rationale and what made us really make this happen. And this slide is a very telling slide. If you look at ING Vysya, it is total of 573 branches with 64% of the network in the south of India. On the other hand, we have a 46% presence in the west, and our presence in the south is 15%. And we have thereafter got a column which is the merged column, which is how does the merged entity look? And we get a much more balanced picture of our network, with the west being 30%, north being 27%, and the south at 38% of our total network, which totals to 1,214 branches together. This slide and the box on the right is also extremely compelling, and it also shows the complementarity of the two institutions together. In Mumbai, we are 88, ING Vysya is 36. In Delhi, we are 90, they are 34. So combined, we go to 124. And then the next two cities, look at Bangalore and Hyderabad. We leverage of the strengths of the network which ING Vysya has, and we move to a total network of 60 branches, that is 40 plus 20, and Hyderabad, 28 branches. Ahmedabad and Pune, which has been our traditional western stronghold, we get, again, their network is small, so on a combined basis, there is very little overlap in the entire network across the 8 cities. And Chennai and Calcutta, we are more or less of similar size. Therefore, in top 8 cities, we will have a presence of 441 branches based on our current network. And one of the most interesting aspects about this merger is that we see virtually no area on the network and distribution which is excessive. And we find this as a perfect match. And if I had a plain piece of paper, I would have wanted all our network, if we had done it organically, to look pretty similar to what the outcome of this is. Last year, we had made a statement to the shareholders and stakeholders and analysts that our aspiration was to reach 1,000 branches by 2016. This enables us, on a combined basis, to move much faster. Next is complementarity in the entire area of customer wallet share and areas where the two institutions have respective strengths. And the number of ticks show where we two together have significantly superior competitive positioning in the marketplace. On corporate and business banking, on commercial vehicles, construction equipment, consumer finance, agriculture and tractor finance, and even in private banking and investment banking, we go from strength to strength. We leverage off the very strong presence, which is there on the right-hand side, which ING Vysya brings in the area of SME business. And whenever I have talked to analysts from time to time, they would comment with me about the strength of ING Vysya's SME business. And we are really wanting to leverage of that, of the combined platform. And as we go forward, we also believe, and something that we will learn a lot from what ING Group and ING Vysya brings to the whole area of digital banking. And we have two stalwarts in that entire area of digital banking right here from ING Vysya's side. One is built a wonderful digital-based business in Australia with virtually 0 branches and what, a $40 billion balance sheet or something like that. And it's a fantastic digital business Vaughan has built in Australia. And Uday Sareen actually spent 2 years building for ING Group a digital bank in Germany. And I was pretty amazed to know that in Germany, ING Group is probably amongst the top 3 or 4 consumer banks with 0 branches. So this is the kind of strength we would love to leverage in addition to the significant presence which has also been built in the area of international corporate banking, which is something we want to leverage on coming out of the cooperation with ING Group. Just a quick idea on what we see as immediate and medium-term synergies. We achieve, as I mentioned, an accelerated branch presence, which is key and something we have been very focused on in terms of our distribution. There is significant savings in product costs because there are many products which we as a group have and which the ING Vysya network can start working on and distributing, and vice versa. Origination cost savings, that would be significant as we go forward, and significant saving in the entire area of overlap of infrastructure. Now to areas which the capital markets people will be more focused on. Shareholders. Our combined capital adequacy ratio is, based on the current numbers, over 16.5%. And more significantly, if you look at the 3 charts below, currently the ING Vysya foreign ownership is 71% against the limit of 74%, with the ING Group owning currently 42%. If you look at the foreign ownership and the shareholding pattern in our case, our total foreign ownership, both FII and FDI put together, is 42%, against a limit allowed by the current policy of 74%. Now let's look at the combined merged picture. And this is where we see a significant upside for all the stakeholders investing in the potential merged entity. ING Group, post-merger, would have a shareholding of 6.5%, and the promoter ownership in the merged entity would go down from 40% to 34%. But look at the foreign holding combined percentage, 46.9% based on the current shareholding. And this at the swap ratio, this is the numbers which come at the swap ratio of 725, and we think this leaves significant headroom for global institutions who are struggling across the private financial sector in terms of foreign ownership exposures.